Welcome viewers, Syndrome here with Breaking the Stream Gaming. Today I will be continuing my playthrough of Saga Frontier Remastered, Red's Journey. Now, I had a little snafu with this recording. Apparently my microphone was muted the entire time, and I didn't notice until the video was ended. So I'm going to just go back and narrate what I did last time. So the railroaded portion of this has already finished. We're now in the free exploration mode of Red's story. We wind up in Yorkland. There's not a ton to do here. We have this little swamp area which has, I think, tier +3 aquatic enemies. So it's a great place to train once you have enough WP and JP to not have to go to town to rest every moment. It's also used in part of the Arcane Magic gift quest. Now here we find ourselves in the heart of Yorkland. We're going to go talk to Lute's little brother here, Thunder, who is probably the strongest monster in the game. And in order to recruit him, we would need to have Lute in our party. I don't really use monsters, so I'm not going to bother with that. If I were to, though, we'd have to recruit Lute into the party, who is himself one of the main characters and probably the weakest of them all. He has very poor stat growth, but a decent sword glimmering list. So he's not a terrible pick, but there are definitely other people better. Okay, let's see. So right now we have Cotton and BJ and Kate in our party. I don't really use monsters and robots except in their respective playthroughs. So Ricky is the monster main character, and Tease260 is the robot main character. So I'm just gonna boot them out of the party to make room for our power humans. So there are 4 player types in Saga Frontier Remastered. Humans, who have access to basically everything, sword, gun, and magic skills. Then you have mystics, who get access to the magic skills, but are unable to learn weapon glimmers. Then you have robots, which learn programs, and monsters, which evolve by consuming the abilities of other monsters. So I will likely in this, actually I know that I will because I already did it, put together a team of 5 humans and make them all sword users, as well as having a mage in there as well. So the first thing I'm going to do, and I think that I do that right here, is to head to Loomis and pick up Rouge, who is the twin of Blue, the main character. Actually, they're one person that has been split in 2 by the mages of the Magic Kingdom in order to learn all types of magic. But we'll explore that more in Blue's storyline. So Rouge here is a very easy character to recruit. You just need to tell him that we're searching for the gift of magic, and he will join us. Now, he is actually a surprisingly good sword user, so I'm going to raise him basically with 2 swords and a shield in the backpack. We'll come back here later to buy magic in a later episode. So next we should be going to Devon to get the quests for the gift of arcane and rune magic. So we're going to head to the Arcane Palace. This entire region is filled with various types of fortune tellers and whatnot. Only 2 of them are actually skilled in magic, though. The Arcane Palace and the Rune Hut, I think it's called. So arcane magic focuses more on attack spells and kind of status curing effects. Rune magic is more about stat buffs and regeneration and defensive things. So I typically go with rune magic for most of my characters. Now I might go with tarot magic for Rouge. I'll have to think about that a little bit more. But Rouge is thankfully easy to kind of kick out of the party just by going back to the Magic Kingdom. So if I decide to do that, it'll be easy to kind of game it that way. And actually the same with light and shadow magic. I might give him shadow even though, no. No. Light magic is just better in almost every way. Okay, now that I have the quest there, we can go recruit a couple characters. So some characters require you to be on these quests before they'll join you. Where did I start off with? Baccarat, I think. Yeah, so we'll take a trip here to Baccarat to recruit Amelia, one of the other main characters. She is that bunny girl that I flagged in the, I think, first episode. So, as part of the Tarot quest, the Arcane quest, that is, we need to acquire the gold card, which involves basically bribing the gnomes of this casino to give us the card, which requires quite a bit of gold, which right now is problematic, but later on it's going to be a trivial thing to do. So we'll just talk to Amelia here, and she is also curious about the gnomes a little bit. Alright, we're just going to follow this gnome here a little bit, and then we'll take a trip down to the parking lot to pursue him further. Despite owning this place, the gnomes don't live here, they live in the tunnels underneath. Okay, so we just need to go up a flight or two here to watch them getting in the elevator, then we can make our way back down and actually pursue him. Yeah, I thought maybe if we just went down a flight, then came back up, we could ride that same elevator, but I was mistaken. So we'll actually have to just run back down 2 or 3 floors. Take a different elevator to the parking garage. So many people in the way, forcing me to talk to them. Okay, so I'll attempt to go into the sewers here, and Amelia will rush up and join us. Red is apparently fairly sexist. His other option is no women allowed, so... Interesting. Okay, but enough of that. So now we'll head back to Raw. And here, we're actually going to recruit some of the other characters from Amelia's main quest. So Amelia becomes a kind of an agent with a secret organization. So first we're going to recruit Annie here, who's also part of Red's quest. But in order for her to give us information, she wants us to treat her to dinner. Which is kind of BS, because this is the organization's restaurant. They're apparently Italian. I never noticed the Italian flag on the left there. Which is interesting. Okay, so once Annie joins us, we'll go and talk to Rufus up there. Okay, and we'll have a choice between recruiting Rufus and Liza. It doesn't really matter which one we pick, because our last character slot is going to go to Gen, who is far and away the best soldier in the game. But Liza is probably the best physical attacker in the game. She is the easiest access of all characters to what is called the Dream Super Combo, which is basically a self-combo attack. So all other characters can, combine certain attacks with other attacks in a way that will result in a combo attack, which does more damage than the individual attacks will do. The Dream Super Combo is basically the same thing, but with a single character. So once you learn, God, I don't even remember what skills they are, you'll be able to just pick this super powerful attack, and it does a crazy amount of damage. But I generally don't use it because it's kind of, I consider it a little bit cheap. Okay, now that we have them, we're going to come talk to the skeleton here, who's going to lead us to Gen. Gen is in Scrap. He is a kind of drunken samurai that is mourning the loss of his kingdom. He's destroyed by Trinity, if I recall correctly. And he is part of the Arcane quest as well. While we're in Scrap, we're going to do a little bit of pre-work in order to make some money. Basically, there are 2 well-known, arguably exploits, but really kind of features of the game. There's an infinite item, I don't know if I want to call it glitch, but a way that we can get infinite items here in Scrap, which will give us some starting money, which we can use to get our gold trade underway. Now, I'd say that they're exploits, except that the Square actually made them much easier to achieve in this version of the game, so I think that they recognize them and approve. Especially the gold trade, which was originally called Taconomics, based on one of the developers that put it into the system. But basically, there is a region where you can buy gold ingots for a fixed price, and another region where you can buy and sell them for a variable price based on how many ingots have been bought in the fixed price region. The result of that is that we can sell gold for a hefty profit. But in order to do that, we need at least a couple thousand credits to get us off the ground, so we'll start by getting a bunch of swords here and then selling them at Shrike. And we do that by going to the sell option and clicking on the Hyperion twice. That'll give us 7 free item picks up here. And we increase the tier of item by selling repair kits. So it used to take just a ton to get to the highest tier of equipment here. Now it takes about 10. So now that we have 10 repair kits, we'll sell those. And then we'll do the same thing with Hyperion. And from here, we can now get the best stuff that the shop will give us. So the high-frequency swords, used to be known as the Os swords, sell for about, I think it's 110 each in Shrike. So we'll get like 35 or so of them, and then a couple of shields, and then we'll head out. Thankfully, with the triple speed, this doesn't actually take that long. This used to be a sort of a multi-hour process, but now it only takes about 5-10 minutes. Excuse me. So just a few more times and we should be done here. The real fun comes once we start our gold trade. That's where the real money is. But this is the quickest way to get those starting funds. And I'll probably end up doing this on every character's playthrough. Although it takes a while to get access to it for some of them. Some of them really kind of don't even need it. But, I mean, the equipment that we're going to get out of doing this is some of the best in the game, so yeah, I will. 27 swords now. I think we'll do one more round of just swords, then we'll grab some shields and the rest of the swords after that. Okay, I think that's probably enough swords. Yeah, 32 should be plenty. And we'll get another 1 or 2 in a minute here. Okay, now we're going to grab a couple of shields. We just need 4 Excel shields, since we already have Mizukami. And 4 in a row, that's nice. Okay. We should be good now, so we're going to head out. Go pay our way back to Iran. And then we're going to head to Nelson, which is where we can buy gold. Oh, right. First to Shrike, where we sell those swords. Do that at Nakajima Robotics to this guy right over here. And we'll just sell all the swords we have because we're going to get much better soon. Alright, that's about now. Now we'll head back to Karong. Then we'll head to Almi, and from Almi we'll head to Nelson. So probably the biggest time saver in the remastered version is the ability to skip those region ship cutscenes. We're going to be taking a lot of these trips, and they take quite a bit of time sometimes. Okay, we've bought 14 gold ingots here. We're going to head back to Karong and sell those now. So the base selling price here is based on the number of ingots that have been bought and sold in the world. So our starting price is 960. So we'll sell 8 of those ingots to get it down to a price of 480, where we're no longer making a profit on it. Alright, there we go. So now we have another 6,000 gold credits. So now we're going to take another trip back to Nelson. And from here, we'll buy another 12 ingots, bringing us up to a total of 18. Oops. And then back to Kurong we go. And we're going to repeat this a couple of times here until we get up to the maximum profit per run. Alright, up to 10,800 now, so we can buy another 21 ingots, putting us up to 27. After this run, we should start being able to get the maximum profit. So the more ingots we have, the greater per ingot profit we have, because it just keeps pushing that initial price up by, I think it's 80 each. Okay, and I think that 19,000 was the magic number in the original release of the game. I think that you can actually make the most profit by going all the way up to 50 ingots in this version, but I messed up that a little bit here, so. Okay, now we're going to buy our way all the way up to 50,000, or rather 50 ingots. Alright, and that, we're going to go make the maximum profit and start buying stuff. So Kurong has a couple of shops that they're not necessarily hidden, but they're not particularly obvious. At least they weren't until they added in these zoning indicators here. So first, let's just sell everything except for 6. And there we go, 65,000 credits. Not bad for 15 minutes of work. So we're going to head up to the northern part of town here. Then off to the left, and we're going to buy some powered suits to begin with from this military vendor here. 5,000 apiece, but a great deal. 50 defense plus 10 to strength and quickness, and it nullifies blindness, so those are pretty good armor. There are a small number of pieces in the game that they are better than that, but not by much. Okay, that's it as far as armor goes. I tend to use those powered suits along with 3 artifacts, or relics, rather. Now we're going to come here, buy some null swords, null blades, so we'll just get 5 of those. Right, that'll put us back down to 19,000, so we'll take another trip back to Nelson for more gold. So the way that this gold selling trick used to work is that you would do the exact same thing, but when you come to this shop here, the price wouldn't automatically be adjusted. So what you would do is you would sell all of the gold, which would actually push the price down to 0, and you could keep going beyond, well, not beyond 0, but to 0. Then, when you push it back up, the price would increase by 80 each, which let you get up to, I think it was like 2080, I think, was the best you can do without bugging the game out. Now, though, they've just straight out incorporated that system into the game, so it's not, this one is definitely not an exploit anymore. Okay, we'll buy 5 rune swords. Those let us use the victory rune, which increases attack power, which is a nice thing to do because it lets us have a rune skill without actually interfering with our physical combat mastery. So all of my melee attackers will get one of those, as well as one of those samurai swords. Some sword skills can only be learned with a katana equipped, and you always need 2 swords equipped in order to learn certain other skills. So now, we've got 15,000 left. Let's go ahead and spend this on potions. Yeah, we don't need that many. 20 should be good. And we'll get some JP restoring elixirs. And why not some snake oil to cure general status effects? So snake oil is why I don't really care so much about arcane magic, because the best thing that comes out of arcane magic is the ability to cure statuses, but 80 credits is not a ton by any stretch. Even if we weren't, doing this money-making scheme. Alright, buy our ingots back, then head back to Kurong. And I think we're done in Kurong now, so we're going to start headed to Manhattan to buy our relics. So there are 3 or 4 that I usually buy. Pearl Hearts protect from water-based attacks, which are going to be very important for training in the Yorkland Swamp. Harmonium Earrings, which do the same thing against sonic attacks. There are just some sonic attacks in the game that will just wipe out the entire party, and it can be really annoying. Then we'll use one of either the Purple Eye, which protects against gaze attacks, or the Blood Chalice, which protects against life point stealing attacks. So we'll just buy everything that we need here. We'll need to take another trip back to Nelson for one last gold run, but then we should be all set. So first we'll get our hearts and earrings. And we kind of overspend here on blood chalices, which is going to mess up our return on gold, but not the end of the world. Just means that at some point in the future, I'll need to do another Nelson run or 2. Actually, I might do that between videos. So not as much gold this time around, unfortunately, but still enough. Just enough. So we'll spend 40,000 getting a couple of purple eyes, and then we'll have 7,000 remaining, which should be enough for the rest of the game. Okay, and that should be everything. So let's actually equip our people now. So we'll just move the rune sword down there, put that samurai, or the katana there. Oh, man. I like to have everybody equipped in the same slots, so I tend to micromanage this a little bit more than is actually necessary. I think we'll go with the purple eye, not the blood chalice for now. Blood chalice is useful for a couple of enemies through the game, but the purple eye is just kind of universally useful. And we're going to go ahead and equip red with the spirit orb, just so that it's not auto-equipped every time while we're setting up the other players. And everybody's going to be equipped with the same stuff in the same slots, except for Rouge, who is going to have the backpack instead of a third sword. Give him the backpack here, which gives him access to all the items we have in our inventory. Okay, and with that, I think I'm going to call this one, but I will pick it up next time when I start with training, which is going to be a long and arduous process. But thanks for viewing. I'll see you next episode. Take care.